Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Debbie Martin. Hi, Nana. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Elena. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Richard. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Tia. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jenny. Hi, other Rodney. Hi, Brenda. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Deborah. Came back on tonight because, of course, I missed last night, and last night I wasn't feeling good. Sorry about that, you guys. Hi, Holly. How you doing tonight? Hi, Jeff. Lots of stuff happening though. Lots of stuff happening between a copper shortage, which is copper is key, for energy grids and energy transmissions across the grid. We're having monumental problems, hoping the power grid could even hold on this summer, much less this winter. Electric cars are showing that they are not to be the absolute cure all to problems. Our grid and infrastructure can't handle it. What a surprise. It's not like a lot of people talked about this ahead of time, and we were one of them, saying that the infrastructure we have is not ready for this. Now we're having record temperatures, of course, causing regular power usage to go up, compounded with other issues like facing the economy and everything else. People are staying home more because they're no longer able to work. It's ridiculous. Dozens of Republicans demand Biden's administration for a plan for nationwide power crisis, as the EPA needs to press headlong into creating a major electricity crisis plan. I mean, it's obvious at this point. Power outages, rolling blackouts expected again this week. The EPA should also be accounting for the plans and actions to help assist us with the factors of immediate and long-term risk that electrical reliability across the nation may not be secure. And it's not. Yeah, people not to charge cars in Texas because of the heat wave, California, other places. Don't charge your cars because we don't have enough electricity. It's ridiculous. Pushing a target away from fossil fuels onto electrical vehicles and electrical generated goods is not a strategy that's made to go with the climate we're in today. Our power grid cannot handle it, and it's showing. And it's directly affecting power plants that are essential to reliable operations. I mean, you're closing down now natural gas power plants, some coal power plants, and oil power plants in the U.S. Meanwhile, we're still closing nuclear power plants, the most secure energy we have. This is alarming information for Americans. This is something that's going to affect us all, one way or another. Of course, EPA is still considering revoking permits for coal plants that produce a total of 50 gigawatts of power generated annually. And such a move would likely lead to more major crises. But the EPA is still trying to do it as we speak. Ban coal power plants right now, during a problem we already have an energy crisis in the United States. That's just the beginning of our problems. Inflation is up 9.1% now in June. Way more than expected. Consumer pressure is intensifying. More people are, of course, buying food on credit cards because they can't afford to feed their family. Meanwhile, of course, the way to control inflation, they say, is to increase the interest rate, which increases the amount people are paying on the food again by having to pay back their credit cards. I am breaking up. I do not know why I'm breaking up because my audio is coming through clear over here. I am really sorry. This is a manufactured audio crisis. Static audio. Let me check and see if I can fix that. See if I can do anything about that. Hold on. Let me know if that helps a little bit. I turned down one of the features that I had on. Hopefully it helps a little bit. Yeah, it's obviously higher than 9.1. This is on the new metric system we use. The biggest problem is when you're looking at direct wholesale prices going up 11.9%, and then saying the consumer price index only went up 9.1%, makes no sense. 11.9 and 9.1 are two different things. I don't know what the clicking sound is, you guys. I am sorry about that. I will work on that tomorrow. Nothing I can do about it right this minute. But inflation is just one thing after another. Government's facing the biggest crisis, of course, as grocery prices see their largest increase since 1979. Some of the biggest items, of course, that went up are items that people don't even think about. Grocery shopping has now become a major expense as home index prices has jumped 12.2%. You're paying 12.2% more for food. One of the major things that everybody has to buy for their home. Of course, the lowest increase of stuff is, of course, affect products that aren't really affected. Or people that don't affect the middle class or lower. You're not going to high-end restaurants where the jump was minimal. But you're going to buy meat, you're buying food for home. Meat and margarine have gone up almost 26%. %26% for meat. These are prices that, of course, Democrats say are just the way life is now. It's just part of life. But we have other scenarios happening on the other side of the country, or the other side of the world, that are affecting us too. Italian government facing collapse. We have fires blazing across Spain, Portugal, and Europe. Of course, the worst locust invasion in 3 decades, causing more food shortages. That's just the beginning. Portugal recorded its highest ever temperature at 117 degrees Fahrenheit on Wednesday. There's not enough housing in the United States to house the people that live here, but then they wonder why rents are almost triple. Tame inflation is what they claim, while raising interest rates on the people that are affected the most by raising interest rates are the lower class, or the poor, the middle class, and poor, or under federal poverty limits. Because those are the people that rely on using their credit cards to buy food and keep a revolving debt on them. So when you raise interest rates, those interest rates directly affect those people, causing the situation, the gap, to widen even more and get even worse, which we're facing here. This is a real problem here in America right now. A real problem. And this is only one of the many problems that are coming down the line. We got Russia, of course, and China. Facebook finally got faced with a reckoning as analysts see the social giant's record zero growth in the second, of course, quarter. Our advertisers are no longer wanting to use Facebook as a platform, causing them to actually understand what it's like. Biden doesn't care about America. Our government doesn't care about America at this point. Literally, they're just trying to stay afloat. As sad as events are and as sad as everything's happening out there, we got to remember to stand together and be strong, because this is going to keep affecting us. Recession is imminent. It's ridiculous. 25% your rent went up. It is ridiculous because there's no housing available. Yeah, and they're bringing in 3 million more illegal immigrants, and where are they going to live? That's the thing. We'll just put more veterans on the street. More of our working class that are working families that are small, compact family units on the streets because they can't afford rent. And then we'll take their kids and put them in a foster system that is overbearing with kids in the first place, losing kids left and right now. It's a hopeless situation. Of course, Biden's initiative to this is close oil fields. Close oil fields and, of course, do anything they want to, of course, limit people's views. Shut down power plants to eliminate coal power plants altogether. EPA is still working that. I mean, what is this going to end up as? Where do you see America going tomorrow? The world's in a state of chaos, and we can't even handle our own people. But yet we want to intimidate countries like China by surfacing 3 ballistic missile submarines within their waters to show a force against them. Meanwhile, Russia launched its biggest nuclear submarine, that can fire nuclear-shaped torpedoes or nuclear-armed torpedoes that fly ballistically. Once they leave the water, they actually become ballistic missiles. This is a big problem. We're so petty on what we're doing here in the United States and the way we're treating our people. We're not looking at what's happening. I mean, Russia today hit Ukraine's Enkoval with a cruise missile strike from a submarine in the Black Sea. A cruise missile that was launched out of a torpedo tube. That missile had to fly over 300 miles in order to hit where it needed to hit today. And that should show that Russia definitely has the capability of what they're claiming their new submarine does. Yeah, air traffic control sites, airlines, of course, are down. The nuclear freaking PSA that New York put out is just ridiculous because none of that would actually work. If anything were to happen in New York City with a direct strike, you could kiss your ass goodbye. Literally. End of story. We're talking where 1 to 2 kiloton bombs were Hiroshima, were Little Man and Big Boy, or whatever it was. We're talking 50 to 500 kiloton nuclear weapons now. We're no longer talking 1 kiloton. We're talking much bigger missiles now. People don't realize how far nuclear has gone and how far everything has advanced in its wake. But the Russian guided cruise missile today that came out of a torpedo, literally, shows that the Russians definitely have the capability to have a cruise missile come out of a torpedo. Ballistic missiles is what they're claiming for their new submarine. Of course, Russia's threats abroad in Ukraine, of course, in the U.S. trying to press China with surfacing 3 of our own submarines in China's port. China outweighs our Navy at this point. That's not a question. So why are we trying to push even more? Sad. And of course, Russia's Doomsday torpedo, or Doomsday submarine with nuclear torpedoes, its new giant submarine that is capable of wiping out Western capitals. Putin's Navy has now officially launched this. And it fires torpedoes the size of a school bus. For people that don't understand this, these torpedoes are the size of a school bus, traveling hundreds of miles. I think it's a lot of miles under the water, it's just going to end up bad. Not sure who's calling, but I'm going to take this call real quick. Hi, how you doing tonight?
Chris, what's up, buddy? It's Billy. How are you?
What's up, Billy? How you doing?
I just got back tonight, man. I was in your neck of the woods for last week. I was in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh man,
nice and hot down here, though, right?
What's that?
Nice and hot down in Florida, right?
Oh yeah, we love it, man. Are you kidding me? We stayed down in Naples.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, that was the first time I went to the west coast of Florida. Absolutely beautiful. It is really stunning. The beaches there are unbelievable. Nice. And Naples is such a beautiful town. And we just drove,
there.
Yeah, we drove down, so we drove up, and we left yesterday morning, but we stopped at Florence, South Carolina, the halfway mark. Because, there's no way I could do that trip straight driving. I mean, it's just too much.
19 hours.
But, yeah, so we left Florence this morning around 7:30, 7:45, and just got home at 9 o'clock New York time. But that's what's stopping to eat. I mean, stopping to gas up like 5, 6 times, going to the bathroom. So, but that's why I haven't been around on the show in the last week.
Yeah. You've been watching what's going on, though, with Putin and his launching his doomsday submarine?
What's that?
Did you hear about Putin launching his doomsday submarine, a submarine that's carrying 6 80-foot-long Poseidon torpedoes?
Really? No, see, I haven't been keeping up because when I was in Florida, I wasn't able to watch any of my YouTube news channels, so I don't know what's going on. I gotta go on the TV in a little while and look at all the stuff that I missed in the last week.
Yeah, crazy stuff going on. We got power outages. Of course, the EPA trying to pull the coal permits for the power plants that are burning coal right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing after another. Copper shortages now.
I'll tell you, man. It's funny when we went down there last Thursday. We get to the Florida state line. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're like, "Yeah, we're in Florida." Man, we didn't get to our hotels until like 8 o'clock that night.
You don't realize.
I didn't realize how friggin' big, man.
Yeah.
Holy! I didn't realize how big Florida is because really, the last time we went to Disney World. So, from Disney World to Naples, you still have like another 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, about 4.5 if you.
Oh, but man, it's so coming home. We did a different route. We took the 75 across the Everglades, and then we connected to 95 down at Fort Lauderdale, and we came straight up. And
you know what? Right by me, literally.
Yeah, I drove by a couple friends' houses, and they were, "Why didn't you stop?" I was like, "Man, come on, man." I was like, "I gotta get home." But even though it probably was about the same amount of distance, it seemed better because I'll tell you that 4 with the traffic and everything by Disney, that's a horrible route. So,
well, and 95 is such a cleaner route. You have a lot more lanes, less traffic.
Yeah, it's funny when I first got on 95 down by Fort Lauderdale for a little while. I mean, I thought I was in Queens on the LIE. There's like a little
area.
Yeah, there's a little portion of that highway where like you think you're in New York City on the LIE there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty heavy congested. It's wide, so that was kind of weird. But anyway, just want to touch base, say hello, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a great vacation. I'm glad you called in. Home safe and sound, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
God bless you, man.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Always appreciate people calling in, but yeah, this submarine with nuclear torpedoes. I mean, literally, it's the world's longest submarine, at about 600 feet long, and has an undersea displacement of 24,000 tons. It's armed with strategic nuclear torpedoes the size of school buses. The sub carries 6 of these 80-foot-long Poseidon torpedoes. 6 of them. Besides its ballistic missiles. These are direct nuclear torpedoes, which fire as ballistics as well. This is ridiculous. And we're sitting there challenging and pushing. These are first strike people. This is first strike stuff. So I don't know how else to put it, but first strike is what we see happening. Of course, Russia and everybody are pulling in. They're building first strike weapons. They're not building defensive weapons. They're building offensive weapons. And we should be concerned. Yeah, they don't know which pronouns to call us when they're launching a missile at us. That'll be their problem. That'll be their big delay, right? Literally, we have become a joke of a country to not just our nation, but to the world. American dollar is losing its value or all across the world, as people no longer even want to look at the U.S. as a country of power. Literally, losing that overnight. Petrodollar was the only thing holding us afloat. What happens when people like China and Japan and other countries start calling in our debts? What happens then? It's sad. So I want to say God bless you guys. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. I know I covered everything pretty quick. I'm trying to be efficient at covering the news for you guys. Allow you guys to call in, of course, if you want. Giving you that time to speak your concerns. Of course, if you have a plan or have ideas in order to help people, ways that people could prepare for this, we'd love to hear about it. I'm afraid we're one major hurricane away, though, from total oil crisis. Literally at this point, one major hurricane away, and I don't know what we're gonna do at that point. God bless you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Stay safe, stay prepared, and God bless America.